So after being freed from slavery, a black community formed in West Louisville in the 1870s. It became known as Little Africa. It was home to hundreds of homes, dozens of businesses, and schools. But decades later, it started to disappear. The history, though, is still strong. And tonight, here's from some of the people born and raised there in today's Moments That Matter.
We call it the gateway to the South.
We had to do the best we had to do because that's what we lived at.
A forgotten town in today's Park Duval neighborhood called Little Africa.
They just didn't want to entertain that Little Africa existed.
It's where freed men and women settled after the Civil War and the Emancipation Proclamation.
My foreparents were the first blacks to settle in there.
Turning what used to be described as a shanty town into a thriving community by the 1920s.
It's just self-contained. It had its own grocery stores, it had people who knew how to do a little farming, and it just had everything there.
Today, very few people who grew up in Louisville's Little Africa are still here to tell their stories. I found two of them, 79-year-old Howard Breckenridge, who now lives in Texas.
1416 South 36th Street, that's where we lived in Little Africa.
And 73-year-old James Dixon, also known as Huss, who lives in West Louisville.
Born and raised, 1711 South 37th Street. It was me on the picture on the left side. I was 12 years old.
Breckenridge talked to me with his daughter Dominique, who's been helping him collect hundreds of photos of Little Africa. They shared them with me.
We played together, got along together.
Each picture tells a story.
And every day I walked out the door, I could look down the street both ways. I see somebody same color I was.
I heard these stories so many times growing up. From the photos, you can really sense a community.
A historical marker that sits on Virginia Avenue commemorates the history of Little Africa. It says the town eventually became Parkland.
No streets are named after those people in Little Africa.
The town was booming with black entrepreneurs owning homes, running their own businesses, schools, theaters, libraries. It was even a part of the state fairgrounds.